I think just sort of being educated about invasive species, what they are and how they move around. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the major ways, and I think students could help with this sort of in the sort of broader society, right? So helping to be the educators in some ways, right? So for example, one of the major ways that species are moved around are by human activities, and people are just not aware that they might be moving around an invasive species. So one way to help manage invasive species is actually just more education
Mm-hmm.
about how to not move around invasive species. One example is the pet trade. Is that it's one of the major ways that invasive species have moved into in areas all over the world. And so, just educating people about, hey, if you have a pet turtle, it's not the best idea to actually put it out in nature, when you're done with it. Or if you like to go fishing, with family members, don't take that bait bucket full of crayfish and dump it in the stream after you're done. Or, if you're going to go hiking, check your socks for seed after you leave hiking, because that's how species can get around. One that's really relevant to New York right now is with the spotted lanternfly. There's actually some sort of education campaigns. I think there's even like a quarantine for if you're in Pennsylvania and coming to New York State, to not bring firewood.
Mm-hmm.
Is also there's like not to move around certain things, like if you had like um, other sort of building materials or anything like that, because the spotted lanternfly will lay their eggs into, a variety of different things. And so making sure you're not moving some materials between different areas. And so I think, um, you know, just understanding how invasive species move around, and that it's mostly by humans, can help
Right.
humans understand how to um, best manage and prevent movement of invasive species.
Right. So think about what you're doing. Sort of learn how these invasive species usually get moved around by people, and then don't do that.
Exactly.
And then
Right.
tell your
And
friends
tell
and family
people,
not to do that.
tell your family members, right? So, if you go canoeing, right? So my family and I like to go canoeing, and we make sure to check the canoe. No big chunks of plant material have attached to our canoe before we put it back in our car and bring it to another place to go canoeing. Like a Eurasian water milfoil is one of the major aquatic species that is everywhere, and is often moved around by boats. So that's right. Figure out what moves invasive species around. Tell your family and friends or your community members. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.